Welcome to the Industry Show. Again, I'm here with Michael Miller. Michael Miller, thank you for having me here at the Miami Community Newspaper, like always.
My pleasure.
And this is like our 21st episode.
Is that right?
Call it. Yes. We have a track of all the shows that we've done here for the past couple of years. And again, informing the community, right, and our listeners of the latest and greatest and everything that's happening around our community here. And that's the reason why we're here.
I know we're going to talk today about some special event that's happening, so tell us about that.
Sure. Well, today we're here representing Cutler Bay Business Association. And basically, we're here because we're promoting a network at night at Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay.
Oh, there it is right on the screen now.
I've actually brought it up here. It's going to be a night of networking. We're going to have some drinks, music, food. And also, Miami Community Newspaper will be there.
We're going to be there with our video camera doing shots for the evening.
For the evening, Chamber South will be there again, and Florida Professionals Association also is going to be joining us here in this event. So don't miss out. It's going to be at 5:30, May 29th, right?
Yep.
At Cutler Bay Mercedes-Benz.
And that's at 10701 Southwest 211th Street. You can't miss it.
You can't miss it. It's right there going off the highway on the right-hand side.
Think about how these guys knew 15 or 20 years ago to open up and then Cutler Ridge.
Right.
They just knew, right? It was like they knew that was going to be the next place. And it's perfect for networking. It's really very good.
Right. It's prediction.
Yes.
It's having an idea, right? And then moving into that area, because if you were to say Cutler Bay back then was Cutler Ridge, right?
Yes.
Well, we used to know Cutler Ridge. But I guess they got the land, right? Because it's a low cost.
Yes.
And they've ramped it up within time, and they've been able to make a nice dealership.
So we know that the old Cutler Ridge Mall is being redone as we speak.
Right.
By the time it gets done, it sounds like it's a 3 to 10 year plan. It's going to be current dollars, $1.5 billion. It's going to be, there are going to be apartments there. There's going to be some sort of major medical facility that's going to be on the property.
Right.
And it's going to be really tremendous. It's going to be the town center of the south end of the Dade County.
That is correct. They already broke ground.
Yes.
They first already started demolition. They're done with demolition, and now I started seeing that they're breaking ground to run some underground pipes.
If we lived long enough, we would see something great coming out of the ground down there.
Yeah. And now Mercedes-Benz will take advantage of this, because now they're going to have, I believe, some new retail spaces.
Yes.
And also some residential homes.
Yes.
Right? Not homes. It's going to be some type of townhouses.
Yes.
Or apartment living. The area is going to revamp, and we need it.
So let's talk about the businesses that are going to open there, and the other businesses that are there. They're going to have several thousand people that are going to be new living there. So the surrounding businesses are going to finally starting to thrive down there.
Yes, because actually they've been struggling, in that area there with that mall.
Yes.
A lot of stores closed up. They try to revamp that mall several times, changing the look, changing this, that. And finally, I guess it ran all the way down, where now it's going to be revamped.
So let's talk about the weather.
Sure.
All right. It's really hot outside.
Yep.
And we all need air conditioning.
Yep. Well,
and you're the AC guy.
Yep.
And an educator.
Yes.
So let's talk about the education, how you're training the future engineers, craftsmen, air conditioning mechanics, technicians.
Sure,
so tell us about those classes that you offer.
Sure. So we're up and running with Level 5 HVAC, and that's a program that we started. We represent NCCR, which is a national accreditation program that teaches individuals about construction trades program. That's basically what we teach, construction trades program, in that we have a core program that we teach students the basics of construction, right? So they got to learn the different types of buildings, the different types of structures, insulation, everything that's within the construction site, and the buildings, and safety as well. We have an OSHA class within that core class, and then they continue to level 1, 2, 3, 4 HVAC.
So an 18 to 21-year-old or a 40-year-old could sign up for your classes.
Yep.
They're going to, first it's this big picture stuff, and then you could pick the area. You could be a plumber, right?
Yes.
Or an air conditioning guy. What are some of the other
well, in the NCCR program, yes, they offer plumbing, electrical, but in our program, per se, we only offer core construction right now. level 1, 2, 3, and 4 HVAC. That's what we are focused on. In the near future, we are trying to do project manager. So NCCR offers a program through NCCR, which is project management, and we're trying to also acquire that and teach that as well.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. It's going to be, we're going to set a record for heat. It seems like this week they're talking about 90 degrees plus for this
I
time
saw
of the year.
93.
You saw 93 today?
I saw, no, the other day. I saw 93.
And it's like, okay, this is the hot season.
Yep.
And the hurricane season and the wet season.
Yep. And actually something is happening in our trade where I last time I was here, I said that the refrigerant was going to be obsolete, the R410A refrigerant, and now we switched over January 1st to the new refrigerant. And guess what? Manufacturers don't have refrigerant. There's a shortage on it. On the new refrigerant, yes. So the cost of air conditioning is rising, unfortunately. The tariffs, those are going to be affecting as well. We just got letters from Bosch, the main manufacturers that we represent, like Bosch, York, and other brands that we represent. We just got their letters saying that they are going to increase pricings between 10 to 15%. And also we're suffering with that situation with the refrigerant.
So let's talk about the refrigerant. So all the people that have the old refrigerant, is that old refrigerant still available?
Sure. It's going to be available for the next 10 years because their manufacturers are still going to be able to sell by federal law, the R410 equipment up to December of 2025.
Then they can't sell it anymore?
Then we can sell it. Factories can't do anything else with them. So right now they're liquidating them or they're trying to get rid of them because by December they can no longer install those.
So if somebody buys one of those today, you're saying that in 10 years from now, maybe that's past the lifespan of it.
That is correct.
That'll be it. When you run out in whatever year it is.
That's it. Just like it happened with R22. That was the old refrigerant. And the reason why R22 existed before is because it had chlorine and it was eating up the ozone layer. So they came up with R410, but R410 has high global warming. So by having high global warming, they said, no, we have to invent a new refrigerant that keeps a global warming at above 700. So they came up with the new A2L refrigerants, which is R454B, and that's the new refrigerant being used, and we have to use that in the new systems.
So let's talk about for people that have their home, it's 10, 15 years old, and the air conditioner starts to go. Mm-hmm. And then they say, what's the tonnage here? And let's say it's 3 ton or 4 or 5, whatever. Mm-hmm. It is. Let's replace that.
Sure.
That may not be their need today, right? Meaning maybe it needs more because they added on to the house.
Right.
So what should an educated consumer do when they go to say, this unit is bad, I've had it for years, and it's not working as much, partially because they added on another room. So what should they do? Well,
they could either add another system separately to be able to compensate that area. Because remember, there is a rule of thumb for AC. So every 400 square feet of space, you need 1 ton of air. So basically, if you add 400 square feet of area to a certain room, you need another ton of air to be able to compensate that. If not, you could get a separate unit like you did here in your lobby and you buy a mini split, right? Ductless, and you could do that to compensate that area. If not, what you're going to do is you're going to be sacrificing the existing unit because the existing unit is made or designed to work for the existing square footage. If you add, right, now you're undersizing the unit, so it's going to constantly run. Your electrical bill is going to be higher, so you don't want to do that either.
And on these split units, in case people don't know, it's on the inside of the house is about this big. Mm-hmm. It's bolted onto the thing. It's not through a window, right? And
it has a plate where it goes mounted on the wall.
And then
you cut the 4-inch hole, run the pipes through the outside, and the condenser sits outdoor.
On the outside. Right. And it goes, we have it here, and we have 2 remote controls right on the wall, up high enough so that everybody that's short here can't touch it.
I remember when you were looking for that.
I push on the button, and it's great.
And it's great.
And it's like... And it really does a miraculous job and made a big difference.
Right. So we're here, teaching the industry, educating one customer, one contractor at a time. Like what you just said, what do we do when we have these situations? So that's what we do. We try and educate everyone so everyone doesn't have a sick house or a house with mold.
So explain your business. You sell equipment, air conditioning, heating equipment to
Contractors.
Who then they have their customers, they put them in there.
That is correct. Yes.
You have a great story about how you wound up with this business. Why don't you tell us about that?
Sure. Yeah, I started in an HVAC school, trying to learn the business. I had no means of going to college, so I had to figure it out. And I said, well, vocational program is a program I can get into, learn a trade, and be able to work immediately. So I'll be able to have a car, a house, and it worked out that way. Never thought I would own a school, right? Sometimes we're in a position and we're there learning, right? And nowadays I'm mentoring others that they could do the same as I did, and they could own a business. They could go into different branches of this field, like you said. Once you learn the basic of HVAC, then you could go to different sectors of it.
When I recall, you worked for a company that sold parts.
Yes.
Air conditioning parts.
Yes.
So you got really familiar with the stuff, and at some point you got it figured out.
I got it figured out, right?
And then you opened your own business.
My
What
own
was
business.
that like for all the people that are out there, the young people who say, I want to open my own business? So what was it like for you on that journey to becoming a successful businessman?
Well, you have to have a purpose, a reason. You can't give up. And always someone is going to say, so what I would say is the best ideas, no one is going to agree to those ideas, right? Because those crazy ideas are the ones that everyone's going to say, no, that's not going to work. Stick to your guns. And if you believe in it, you will succeed.
One of the great stories about physical fitness, in 1954, no one had ever run a sub 4-minute mile. Roger Bannister was training, and his coach said, okay, do a quarter mile in world record time. Okay, now let's do 2 together. Now let's do 3.
Right.
After he did the 3, his coach called out the TV stations, the newspaper people, and Roger Bannister did, for the first time ever, he did it in 3:57 and some change. People said it couldn't have been done. He would have a heart attack. Well, within about 2 months, 10 other people did it. And there was just a change in their mindset that it could be done. And prior to that, all right, like man on the moon, no, you can't do that. So in business, it is like that.
It is like that.
And so you just got to figure out what you want and why you want it and why you're doing it. We ask people all the time here, what are you doing here? They said, well, I'm selling ads. I said, no.
You're selling what?
Ads. I said, the bigger picture.
Right.
The big one.
Right.
And Rochelle can speak, who's producing the show.
Right.
She knows the shows that we do here. It's not just doing a show. It's being able to tell stories and be able to bring people in so that they have a way to share that.
And encourage others.
Yes.
Right.
And one of the things we like to do.
And there's nothing different about you or me or Michelle or any one of us. We all have the ability and the capability. It's just having the mindset.
Yes.
And saying, hey, if I have to execute this, right? Nobody could say, I run 2 businesses and president of Cutler Bay, right? And so
let's talk about a couple of years ago. If I remember, you got a phone call from FIU. They said, hey, listen, we got some state funding. Can you come over and teach air conditioning stuff?
Yeah, that's what led us into teaching HVAC.
Yeah, so how did that happen that they called you? Or how did that connection happen?
Yes, well, again, through networking, through Cutler Bay Business Association, Ralph Casals, town manager, knew, the right person that was looking for a person that knew how to educate in HVAC and had experience, and they reached out to me and they put us together. Again, this is why it is important to come to this event.
So that event is it's on the 29th.
Yes.
It's a Thursday. No excuses.
No
5:30.
excuses.
And I noticed there's no end time. So, Rochelle, what do you suppose that means when there's no end time? It starts at 5:30.
Well, I think it's 5:30 to 7:30, maybe 8:30.
Yes.
So
you can go down there, have a good time. You're going to meet lots of people. All right.
Right.
And if they want to go, how should they contact you?
Sure, they can go on the website on the cutlerbaybiz.com and they could register there, or they could come in personally and register on the door as well.
That's wonderful.
So again, Florida Professional Association, Cutler Bay Business Association, Chamber South, by the way, thank you for putting this event together.
Yep.
Rick there is doing an amazing job trying to bring us together.
He called you?
Yeah, sure. He called us. Also, Pinecrest was going to be there, Palmetto Bay, but it was a little short time for them to participate. But my understanding, Pam and all of us are going to get together to then have one between all the associations. That's wonderful. We want to network with All the
So
everyone.
maybe you would like to do that. Why don't you invite some of these the directors, executive directors of the different chambers?
Yes.
And we can have a
round table discussion here.
Even though this is a rectangle table.
Sure.
We can have a round table discussion.
We'll have a rectangle table discussion.
Okay. And it just what you figure the day that it needs to get done, and we'll get it done.
Thank you, Michael, again for having me here.
My
we
pleasure.
always have a great conversation, great interview. It feels great when I'm always here. Thank you for always supporting the community, for supporting the industry show. And I want to be here shortly. And I'll see everyone on Friday. Thank you.
Terrific. Thanks so much.
Have a great afternoon.
Hey, Michelle, thank you so much. And by the way, Michelle is a teacher, all right? She teaches at school way down south. She teaches 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, all right? God bless you. What a great job you're doing. And
Education,
thank you,
education, education. There you go.
All right.